Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes look, I guess like a Showdown Joe video blog, what it's like covering UFC events. Trip down to from Toronto to Anaheim went well. We're in Anaheim right now. I just finished my first workout of the day. I'm going to meet up with the Sportsnet crew and we're going to head down to the Walt Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles. So LA traffic coming up and getting ready for UFC 121 Lesnar-Velasquez, the pre-fight press conference.
All right, tons of media here in attendance. We're going to get their thoughts on the big main event for Cain Velasquez taking on Brock Lesnar, as well as co-main event between Jake Shields and Martin Kampmann. Check it out.
I think this is Cain Velasquez's time. I think he trains with some of the best guys in the world, and I think he finishes this fight in the 4th round TKO.
Really an intriguing fight. I've been on Cain Velasquez since he came to the UFC. In his first fight as a pro at Strikeforce, I saw him and I thought, this guy's phenomenal. I've been writing and saying for as long as I can remember that he was going to be the heavyweight champion of the world.
I'm going to give you my prediction. I've vacillated one way and the other for weeks on this. I'm going to stick my neck out, and I do think I'm sticking my neck out. I think we're going to see the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion of the world in combat sports in Cain Velasquez. There's a stillness in him which is like a giant stone, and I think he is like the immovable object, but I think we'll see him moving in the octagon. Movement's the key word for him, and I think he might just outskill Brock in this fight and may frustrate him as the fight goes on. I hope if he knocks Brock down, he doesn't jump on him, but he gets him to stand up again, because that might have won Carwin the fight against Lesnar.
You know, Cain Velasquez is a freak, and he's the guy who works 6 to 7 days a week on his game. And Brock Lesnar, I think, has all the tools, but it really breaks down to fighter reaction. If you look at how he was hit against Shane Carwin, he retreated backwards and wasn't able to weather the storm like Cain Velasquez did against Chet Congo. He came forward, he came and brought the fight, and I think from a primal gut reaction, that gives me Cain Velasquez in this fight, which is an excellent fight. I think it'll be the biggest fight of the year. Baddest man on the planet, for sure, is the winner of this fight.
No offense to Cain, I think he's super talented, but I think Brock's just on a different level. He's going to have the size advantage as well, and when you have a guy like Brock on top of you, I know the AK's got amazing training people, but there's really no one like Brock that you can really bring in to train like him, and I see Brock taking it probably first round. And I know, and even though I'm Mexican, I know, sorry, Brock Lesnar all the way.
There are a couple things I like about Cain in this fight. I like his hand speed. I think his hand speed is a little bit faster than Brock Lesnar's. It's an issue of whether Brock can get him down on the ground and control him, but I think Cain's done a lot of work in getting up off the ground, and I think that if he stops the initial takedown, it's going to be a serious blow to Lesnar's confidence.
That's a great fight. I see it being a toss-up between those two, but I'd say in the end I see Lesnar with a renewed heart coming out on top.
Main event Brock Lesnar, too much strength. I think if he ends it early, it's definitely his fight.
Lesnar, I don't see anyone beating Lesnar for a long time, although I would love to see Velasquez make a bid. You know, I almost named my kid Cain because I think it's a wicked-ass name. So I'm going to go Lesnar.
I think Martin Kampmann's winning this one. I think this is a very bad matchup for Jake Shields. Some guys we've seen him transition to the UFC and not do so well. We've heard about some troubles that Jake has had in his training camp, so I'm going to go with the slight upset. Kampmann, the veteran, pulls off the upset, decision win.
You got to like Jake Shields. Anybody who can dominate Dan Henderson the way he did, you have to like him. But Martin Kampmann brings a lot of tools to the table and is very hungry, feels he's being overlooked. But I think Jake Shields is going to win a decision there and go on to fight for the title.
What it breaks down to is who's going to be able to get off their back faster, and I think Jake Shields with his sweeps is going to be able to do that, and also the ability to elbow. That's something he didn't have in Strikeforce, and that's something that he'll be able to bring to the table against Martin Kampmann. So I think he's just got a ground edge, but Martin Kampmann knows that he needs to work on his wrestling, and he's a great striker, so it's a very tough fight for Jake, but I'm taking Jake Shields.
He's coming off a win against Dan Henderson. He's a very, very skilled guy, and when those two guys faced off today at the press conference, there was a very, very steely look in Jake Shields' eye, and I think that guy's going all the way.
But I really think it's going to be Jake's coming out party as far as everyone finally realizing what he can do now that elbows are allowed on the ground for him.
I think if Jake does what he needs to do, gets inside and does what he does best, it's going to be his fight.
Jake Shields has been there in the wars for years. He's flown under the radar to a lot of mainstream fans just because he hasn't fought in the UFC, but I think that's another great fight, but I see Jake Shields winning this fight on the ground.
Still skeptical on Jake Shields, but I'm going to say he pulls it off by decision.
Wow, Shields about to make his debut. I like his chances, and I think they want him to go a long way in the UFC, so I'm going to pick him.
Yeah, figures Ryan's in there first. Yeah, we know how it works. We're all good.
How do you keep those? How do you keep those?
Awesome. Apparently we have our first complaint of the day.
Cameraman, last people in line. You know?
Shocker.
Showdown's already eaten for those people at home. Yeah.
Claro, una pelea perfecto esta noche.
Consider him one of the best in the world at 205. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Heavyweights don't belong on the pound for pound list. Brock Lesnar would be listed on your pound for pound list as one of the best in the sport.
I couldn't agree with you more. And you're the first guy to ever say that to me. The idiot media guys don't understand what pound for pound means. Are you the first media guy that understands the pound for pound? I don't know if I'd put Brock on the pound for pound list, but yeah, I agree with you.
Just trying to get some work done here, but all these camera guys are never happy with the shot. It takes forever.
No watch.
And we're just getting started. You were visibly upset after the fight. You still harboring any resentment, or is it just, it's done, let's go?
I was upset after the fight because I thought that was like a stomp in my head. Because of that, the rules is really unclear about that. But, I don't make rules, I fight, so it doesn't matter now. I have to move on and get back on the winning streak.
On the other end of a decision, what was your thoughts on that performance?
I think there's a couple things I could have done differently. I think it's just, that's where we're at, and we know that. And we're comfortable with that. So as comfortable as Anderson Silva, and everybody says he's the best pound for pound fighter in the world, in our minds, so are we. In fact, we are more than he is.
All right, Jacob, day one is done. Another long day. What time did we start this morning?
Well, actually, I started it at like 6.
Okay.
I think Showdown probably started around like 20 minutes ago. No, we started around like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
And it's about 10 o'clock right now. It's been a 12-hour day
and
for
we're not
me.
even done. We still got to write a few features, so long day, but productive day. We got some good stuff.
So
we
got
only see on MMA Connected.
That's it. We got Verne packing up all the gear right now. Verno, how was the day, my man?
It was, easy. We started off. What did we do?
While we were waiting for Joe.
Oh right, yeah. We waited for Joe to start. We were actually, the car was packed. The address was in the GPS. It's what, 11:30. We're supposed to meet 11:15. He texts us 11:30. Says he's jumping in the shower. Yeah.
Slow down, Joe.
So apparently we have a new subject that's just running around here. All right, so yeah, what's this with this whole slow down Joe thing as opposed to Showdown Joe? Can you explain that?
Joe, the key is that if we're to start our day, if we know we have to be somewhere at say 12, so we're leaving at 11:30, we need to now tell Joe we're leaving at 11, because then he'll show up at 11:30, but maybe then he'll still be late.
Now he's going to be an hour late because he knows the secret.
Yeah, I know, we can't tell him anything. Now we got to work 2 hours ahead.